Oklahoma City.
I could start. For me, I'd say my favorite thing about Chicago is really just like the culture and rich history that it has. I mean, I've been born and raised on the south side of Chicago, and just the things that I've experienced here. I mean, the food. Nobody really topping us when it comes to food. I mean, Harold's Chicken, soul food, anything, seafood, we got it. And then just like the culture of it all. When it comes to like the blues, or when it comes to the civil rights movement, a lot of people like Chicago was like the stop that they made like on their trips to different places to kind of like during the civil rights movement. So I say all that to say I just love the history Chicago has and the way it's fed into me.
I say the things that you're able to do. I feel like you can never be bored in Chicago. Like there's so much things that you can like do, explore, but you need money though. But there's some things that you can do without money.
And I feel like just the city overall, like we have a nice downtown. Like I feel like our downtown is big compared to other people's. And then again, we have like one of the best skylines ever. Like it's just a very pretty view. I love to say that I'm from Chicago.
And it's like they said, the skyline. I feel like we're off on the lake, and if you just sitting down at a restaurant like at Navy Pier or something, you looking out, you're like, oh my god, like this is just like a beautiful city.
The vibes, the culture. Like we're really not like every other city. You could walk downtown, hype each other up, just randomly talk with people. It's fun, and the food. We just so diverse. Like, oh my god, yeah.
Like we have like every type of culture's food here, and then we have towns, like certain towns for that culture. Like we have Little Village where there's a bunch of, it's Mexican culture, and then Chinatown where there's a bunch of Asian culture.
I feel like Chicago is the only place where you can find a place in Chinatown named a French name that serves mango cake. Like it's just so diverse. My friend, like her favorite type of cake is a mango cake, and I'm like, oh, where'd you get it? She says in Chinatown, in a place called Tous les Jours, and I'm like, what? Where are the names of these places coming from? This is Chinatown.
And I also think like Chinatown is one of my favorite places here. It's very walkable, honestly, if you know how to cross the street.
If I may go on the Chinatown thing, I love their boba.
I've only been like once, but yeah, Chinatown was pretty fun. And then like on the topic of that, since like Chicago has like a little bit of like every culture, you can go pretty much around the world without ever leaving Chicago, as long as you know how to get downtown.
Like all the activities here, like there's so much parks and um like for example like bowling areas or like basketball places or volleyball courts to go play and everything.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of.
Oh yeah,
museums,
and there's a
too.
lot of like um museums and like yeah, tourist attractions.
Like also I feel like nature wise, like there's like lots of parks and like there's lots of trees still. And like that's what I really enjoy because like I like having like walks at the park with my family. But then there's also like there's lots of like community services that I actually like checked in this like one website and like it's like all of Chicago where there's like lots of community service you can be like part of and like it's basically like almost daily like at different areas like schools, parks, like there's like lots of things you can take part of and like help your community, which is I feel like really good.
Something I like about Chicago is like LSD, but like LSD stands for like Lakeshore Drive, and like around Lakeshore Drive, there's like a lot of beaches, and I usually like spend my whole day at the beach, like every summer, every day, and yeah, it's but like one of the downsides of Chicago is like it also depends on like what area you're in Chicago, because I know like there's some places in Chicago that aren't the best as other places.
I hate when people not from here and they be like, "Oh, you from O Block" and all that dumb stuff. It's just so annoying. Like, no.
A misconception is, yes, there's violence, but the amount of violence the amount of violence, because people think you go in Chicago, you see somebody get killed around every block. Like, that's not. Yes, there's violence. Yes, you still have to be safe, but it's not as bad as people make it seem and the media makes it seem.
Is the violence as bad as people think it is?
No.
Crime. I think y'all have gotten at a lot of their questions.
Have you guys experienced any?
Violence and crime are kind of bad here. Not as exaggerated as they make it seem, but it is kind of bad because starting the school year, there has been about like 3 drive-bys over here by our school. And
3? There was only one.
No, it was one, and then there
Oh
was
yeah,
a
there was
shootout in
another
front of the
one.
school.
There was.
It was like
I was at
2,
the school
3.
when they were shooting out over here. That was kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah, 2, 3.
Okay,
since
but
school
the
started.
shooting at the park wasn't at our school.
It was like a couple.
But there were kids at the park.
It was a couple
our
feet
school.
away from it. It was like Lindblom Park.
Which is right behind our school.
You
But
that's a regular occurrence at the school.
At the school,
I think
really.
especially because of in the southern half of the city, like this is more the west side, but in the southern half of the city, I know it's like when you get farther south, it gets worse and worse. Like I live pretty close to downtown, but it's still pretty bad. Like I feel like every night I hear some sort of gunshots, but like I haven't personally experienced any violence. I just hear about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely not us. You're not supposed to be everywhere at every single time. Like, it's when after like when the sun set, you need to be. You shouldn't be around 63rd and King Drive because Well, I mean, or 79th and Ashland, or like. Yeah, it's some nice. They'll help you out, but then they'll help your pockets out too. So, yeah, you just gotta use your just be safe. That's all it is. You just gotta be safe. But you don't gotta be concerned about your safety out everywhere. It's not that bad.
Like everybody who's like violent is like on one side. Everybody who's not is on the other side. They're like people on this side, they're very rich. Like they're very rich, they have nothing to worry about. People over here, they're very poor. They have to fight for resources and stuff. So I feel like the only people that people could be talking about when they're saying that is probably the people that are poor.
Okay, so I feel like when people hear about Chicago, they immediately think, King Von. They immediately think 63rd, and they always think like Chicago is like this war type of like place when it's nothing like that. I feel like that's just the perceived image that they spread to the media about Chicago, because it's definitely different. Now maybe like when you get to certain parts, but the whole Chicago is not like that.
I'm gonna expound on that, but even still, like if you go to quote unquote dangerous neighborhoods, 9 times out of 10, nobody is gonna bother you. Just like mind your business. Not if it don't involve you, like, oh my gosh, we're not from 63rd. Oh, block, shoot them up. We're not like that. We're not like that.
It's not a war zone. It's just a city.
I feel an actual challenge, like if you think about it, Chicago's a pretty segregated city, and just like the historical aspect of it, and there's been recently I've noticed a lot of like gentrification in certain like majority black neighborhoods or neighborhoods of color, and also just like the lack of resources that were in those neighborhoods prior, and now that more non-black people are moving into those neighborhoods, like you could just see the shift of it all. And I just feel like for people of color, we have like the South and the West Side, because those were the only places that we were like provided to stay for the longest, and now that it's kind of being like taken over slowly, like gradually. I live in South Shore, and that's not too far from Hyde Park, and they're opening an Obama library in Hyde Park, and now I mean, Hyde Park was already a bit diverse, but now I'm starting to see a gradual, gentrification of South Shore, which is not too far from it. So just the lack of resources some communities have compared to others, especially because of the demographic, and then also the communities people of color have held for the longest. Now white people are coming into those neighborhoods.
Chicago has made me, I think, realize that equal rights is really important for all identities, because still, even still, like years and years after, segregation or whatever ended, we still have, a lot of racism, even here in Chicago with the segregated city, like segregated parts of the city. And then, there's still discrimination against LGBTQ people. There's discrimination against, like, religious groups. So I think that Chicago, me seeing all those different perspectives has made me realize, like, everyone deserves to be treated equally fairly. And I don't think in any other city that would be apparent to me, but in Chicago, it really is.
Go outside of Chicago, it's very rural. Like, I know Illinois is a Midwestern state. So you're going to see a lot of like plains, farms. It's going to be very culturally different too.
Like it's a whole different country, because then I see like Trump flags everywhere. I see a Confederate flag, and I start getting scared. Like I clutch my pearls, and I just like I hide in the back seat. Like I'm not used to this.
Chicago is Illinois. It makes Illinois. It put Illinois on the map.
Yeah.
And like Peyton was saying, when you go far out in Illinois, it's just this one community in this one culture, where in Chicago we have different communities, different cultures, different neighborhoods, and then we all like vibe off of each other.
It's made me like cities more than suburbs, like, because I have people that I know live in the suburbs, and I don't like it there because I think it's boring because there's nothing to do around there. But here, there's like, you could go anywhere and do something.
Before I came to Lindblom, I was at a predominantly white school. The children at the school, they'd have more resources than I would. Like, they would have, like, computers and printers, and then I'd be like, oh, my mom got to drop $2,000, $3,000 for me to have resources. And it's like, how come they can have that, but I can't? So it's like, being in Chicago has definitely shaped me to want more for black and brown children, and I will always advocate for that.
So what's brain rot? Y'all can just start off with that.
You can start off.
I think brain rot is the same thing everywhere in the country. Your brain is deteriorating from you being on the internet so much.
Like every corner you turn, every room, everywhere, every place, every second, every time, you'll hear brain rot. Like skibbity, alpha, everything.
People don't have hobbies anymore. Like, I'll ask somebody, what do you do for fun? I scroll on TikTok.
So are y'all worried about?
Yes, I'm
so scared.
How it feels to be a child in this day and age, like with social media, like that really drains you. Like, it literally fries your brain rot, as they said. Like, yes.
Me personally, coming into Lindblom, the mental health is not that good. I will say that. The mental health coming from middle school was not that well. But once I got here and I seen how everybody was advocating for mental health, it made me want to take care of my mental health more. It made me want to actually advocate for other people as well. And then with all the mental health fairs, all the summits that I've been to or the summits that I've heard about in Chicago regarding mental health, it does seem as if mental health is being taken care of more seriously than it was when I was growing up. Now that it is more, I guess, socially acceptable to be diagnosed with mental health issues like depression, anxiety, whatever, it seems as if more people will actually try to better themselves rather than just push it to the side or bury it deep inside themselves. They're actually going to come out and talk about it more with other people.
What do they need to know about Chicago sports?
They're all really bad, but they're on the come up. They're slowly on the come up. So
Just to let you guys know, the Chicago Cubs are better than the Chicago White Sox.
Okay, not trying to be mean, but like, what do y'all do out there? Because when I think of Oklahoma, it's just like, I don't know, but it just reminds me of like slavery and like segregation. Like I'm not gonna lie, because that's the only type of things I hear about Oklahoma. And I think I used to talk to somebody from Oklahoma, and they do got like an accent, like a real Southern accent, but like I don't like, what do y'all like? What I don't know, like I don't know nothing about y'all.
I want to know, like, where did the cowboy stereotypes start from? Like, I never think cowboy when I think Oklahoma. Where'd that come from?
Are there any houses like in the middle of nowhere? Like, is there like a house like in the middle of like the desert, something like that?
How was it being a student in high school in Oklahoma? Like, how has Oklahoma changed your perspective on America?
What policies do you guys have in your schools? Like, if they're any different from what we have?
Have you guys seen like differences in like the funding for schools? Because I know that like, I read somewhere, I think it was in geography, where it's like there's like some schools that get like less funded for like if like the neighborhoods are like more like minority groups. And like I was like wondering if you like guys like noticed that like briefly, or like you guys, or like they're like hiding that like well or something, or that's like not a problem there.
Is your school like segregated? Like, do they like give more opportunities to people who aren't in minority groups or something like that?
You feel as living in Oklahoma that you have like advantages as like that certain cities might not have or might have more than you have?
I don't, I don't want to be rude, but like Corey said, what do y'all do out there? Like, what's the weather like? Like, I don't know. Like,
How them tornadoes doing? Them 2 tornadoes on my time of month.
Why would y'all say that?
you have to be here for the video.
For real, because they talk about they got 2 tornadoes a month.
I seen University of Oklahoma football. Do y'all got good football teams? What y'all do?
Yeah, how the sports out?
Yeah.